It's peak seal pupping season here in the Puget Sound area, and while those pups may look alone on the beach, human interference is one of the biggest reasons they end up needing rescue. Joining us today is McLean from the SR3, the first and only dedicated marine wildlife hospital in the Pacific Northwest. Welcome, Casey.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited to talk about this. Why is this such a busy time for SR3?
Well, as you mentioned, it's harbor seal pupping season, so you're seeing babies everywhere from the outer coast, Bellingham, Olympia, all over really. And while they're adorable, it also means they're facing a lot of threats from pets to people.
And tell us about SR3 for someone that hasn't heard of y'all.
Yeah, so Sea Life Response, Rehabilitation, and Research is our full fancy name. But that means that we have a hospital where we're caring from everything from tiny seal pups, large sea lions, even sea turtles. We're also doing research out in the field on critically endangered southern residents.
Wow, how long have you been in the area for, too?
I moved here in 2010 and had a marine biology background. This was my passion. I recognized a gap in our resources and decided we should fix that.
There you go, and here you are. How does human interference lead to pups being separated from their moms?
I don't ever think it's really intentional. People just are on the beaches, and unfortunately maybe not unfortunately, but we're in such an urban area that it's very easy to scare mom off. Adult harbor seals are extremely skittish, so unintentionally they separate mom and pup, and then that baby's gonna need some care to be able to get back out into the wild.
What can people do to avoid making this situation worse?
The best thing you can do is actually clear the beach area if possible. Yeah. Obviously that can be challenging in our very urban waterways, but let other beachgoers know that that pup is there, and hopefully they can keep their distance as well. And call the experts if you're concerned.
Yeah, what happens, walk us through if someone's injured or sick that comes to SR3?
So when they first arrive, they may have had a really stressful journey to get to us, several hours if they're coming from even the San Juans, so they really need a lot of rest. But we're going to look at them and make sure they don't have any life-threatening situations at first, whether that's low blood sugar, too hot, too cold, things of that nature that we need to address. Then that next day, we're going to have our veterinary team do a full head-to-toe exam to discover what's really going on.
Wow, amazing work. And behind rehabilitation, you're gathering important data like you discussed on a lot of different animals. We can start with southern resident orcas. How are you using technology to learn more about them?
Well, I always find this interesting is back in the day, what they had were airplanes, and you would lean out the side of an airplane to gather.
Lean out.
Just lean out.
No big
to
deal.
gather these very detailed photographs that would help us understand their health. Well, now, thanks to technology, we do that through drones.
Whoa, this video is incredible to see that you guys are really just out there on the boat and then throwing up drones, and you get a real up close and personal look there. I also understand gray whales have been through a lot in the recent years. So what is your research telling you about the health of that population, would you say?
Yeah, sadly, you're right. We've had 42 gray whales die just this year in Washington.
Washington alone?
Washington alone, which I think is the highest year on record. So it's very distressing, of course. We've been monitoring the gray whale health population for quite a few years, but what's exciting is this year we've added a new health parameter where we're able to look at their breath to see what's going on inside.
Gosh, interesting.
Using those drones.
Whoa, see, it all goes back to technology and the drones. Technology for good, we love it. You must work with an incredible team of people that are so passionate. Tell me about this team.
Yeah, we have lots of really experienced staff members that help with this, but honestly, the heartbeat behind it is volunteers.
Really?
They show up day in and day out, 275 of them, they keep us going.
Oh my gosh, okay, I want to talk about this. SR3 doesn't receive government funding, I understand. How does that impact your work? And I'm sure some people watching are wondering, okay, how can I help? How can I support SR3?
Yeah, so as a community-funded organization, obviously financial contributions are really important, but also sharing about our organization with your friends and family, sharing us on social media so we can really get the word out about who we are and what we do.
Definitely. Can people come and visit? How does this work? Is it more, watch from afar? What can you tell me?
Yeah, so we are not open to the public because these animals are wild and they need very limited human contact so they can go back to the wild and be wild.
So that's the goal, obviously, always, yes.
But once a year, we have an open house in April where the community is invited in, so we'd love to see everyone there.
Oh my gosh, amazing. What happens there?
Lots of fun things. No animal viewing, but we have lots of games and activities for you to better understand our work.
Okay, and again, where can people get more information with you guys on social media and beyond?
SR3.org, and we are on all your main social media channels.
Amazing. Well, this was really enlightening and fun. I had not heard of you guys and can't believe you are just down south again in Des Moines. So definitely going to look you up for more information. Thank you for being here today and sharing your passion.
Thank you for allowing me to share.